Good morning to all of you out there. It's a bit overcast, dreary morning, as they say, bedtime weather. But we all have to work because we have bills to pay and responsibilities to perform. Okay, good morning. It's October 26th. 2022. It's a Wednesday. Welcome to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, on this overcast day and with the possibility of more rains through the day. However, let's make the best of it, and I do hope you are all well. Sana naman po kahit papano may dahilan kayong bumangon, may dahilan kayong lumamon, at may dahilan kayong magsaya. And today, let's start our day with our daily starter. Medyo may pagkapiloso po, a bit funny, but very, very wise. And it goes, follow your heart, but take your brain with you. Okay? Kasi marami sa atin ay in love. Ha? We fall in love with a person, with a business, with a toy or something. We give everything, all our heart, ika nga nila, for something or someone, and we leave our brains back home or in the cabinet. Medyo wag niyong iwan yung utak niyo. Sabi nga, sino ba yung nagsabi no na enter the room, leave your pride at the door, but take your brain with you. Okay, so today's daily starter, follow your heart, but take your brain with you. Be smart. Always ask the questions because when you reach my age in life, unlike when I was half my age, medyo mapusok, just go for it. Whatever the outcome, but now, teka, I want this, I want to do this, I like this, but what will it cost me? How long will it take? What are the consequences? Is this a necessity or a distraction? Okay, now let's go to the front page of the Philippine Star, and the headline once again tells us to take our brains whenever we go out, because the headline is wearing face mask indoors to be voluntary, according to the pronouncement made by Department of Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco yesterday after the cabinet meeting at Malacanang. President Bongbong Marcos will soon issue an executive order that will now make wearing of face masks voluntary indoors, except for senior citizens and those with comorbidities and those who are not vaccinated. Pero end of the day, unless sitahin ka, voluntary talaga. But you might as well make sure you are using your brains when you go about, whether outdoors, whether indoors, because the reality, ladies and gentlemen, while the government wants to promote tourism and business, the reality is nandyan pa rin ang COVID, and it is even more complicated by the presence of two new sub-variants na hindi covered ng mga vaccines natin. So be careful. Meanwhile, at the top of the front page, AMLC or Anti-Money Laundering Council taps BIR for monitoring of money laundering. Ayan po. The AMLC will cooperate with BIR because siguro magkakatanungan sila. Okay, Commissioner, ito bang suspect namin, nagbabayad ba ito ng tax? Kasi ang daming pera, ang gara ng kotse. I suggest to the Anti-Money Laundering Council, tingnan nyo po lahat yung nagpapasok ng 86 Ferrari last year or early this year. Hindi na po yun smuggling, hindi na po yun tax evasion, money laundering na po yun dahil bilyon na ang pinag-uusapan. Okay. And in the meantime, gang leaders in the middleman's death secured. The aforementioned gang leaders of 3 gangs in the National Penitentiary or New Bilibid Prison have been secured after they were appointed to as persons of interest and primary suspects in the contract killing of broadcaster Percy Lapid. Okay. Meanwhile, on the right side of the top portion of the Philippine Star, President Marcos reappoints Jay Santiago as PPA General Manager. Okay, yan na po. And has ordered the GM of the PPA to automate port operations and streamline logistics costs. Okay. Yan na. If you recall, Jay Santiago was also the PPA General Manager during the time of President Duterte. Meanwhile, health workers fear President in Cascolan appointment. Okay. Aside from protesting the fact that retired Brigadier General Camilo Cascolan is not a doctor nor does he have medical background, the Health Workers Alliance is also expressing concern na baka maging panimula ng hindi maganda or it may be an ugly precedent where more and more police officials or retirees will be dumped on the DOH. Okay. Now, LTO in the meantime, to motorists, brace for undas traffic. Kasi sinasabi ng LTO, they are expecting gridlocks, traffic during the All Saints and All Souls Day. Interestingly, the traffic will probably be just along the cemeteries and on the expressways and the tourist destinations because more and more Filipinos spend more and more time traveling to tourist destinations instead of visiting the dead and departed. Meanwhile, for those of you who are foreigners, okay, living in Manila, the Bureau of Immigration and Robinson's Malls management has undertaken an agreement, a cooperation whereby Robinson's Mall Manila will be a site for alien registration from January 2 to March 2, 2023. Malaking bagay po yan because the Bureau of Immigration's office in Intramuros is so tiny, so dilapidated, kawawang-kawawa yung mga tiga-BI, and especially our foreign guests and travelers going to the Bureau of Immigration for alien registration, ay yun. So makakatulong yan para sa lahat. Last but not the least, we have a photo on the bottom right of the Philippine Star. A commuter walks in the rain going to a bus terminal in EDSA, Cubao, as a bus terminal yesterday are inspected as part of the Oplan Undas. Okay, sana naman, I am just hoping that the new administration will restudy the opening or will consider the reopening of bus terminals along EDSA because it is really costing too much money for people coming from the provinces, and it is inconvenient for many people who would rather take the bus than drive to places like Baguio. Anyway, that's all we have for today from the Philippine Star. And now we will go to our featured interview. And allow me to set it up, okay? Kasi baka matawa kayo. Okay. I at age 66, uh, well, let me set it up. Let me set it up. My father, Louis Beltran, who I hope many of you still remember or know, once said to us, there is no Beltran in my generation who ever learned to play the musical instrument. So he went out and bought a guitar. And interestingly, or as expected, as any skeptical Beltran would put it, he never played it. Okay, he strummed it. He bragged about the guitar, but never played it. So the guitar disappeared. I don't know where it is now, but it disappeared. And recently, about 2, 3 months ago, I said, I have made numerous attempts at taking piano lessons beginning in the 1980s, but I always fail. So finally, 2 months ago, I said, I'm going to make it my bucket list. I will find someone and I will do everything possible. And I did. And to my surprise, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to my teacher, Dea. I will not mention her family name for privacy concerns. Teacher Dea, who is also from Victory Christian Fellowship, she managed to be patient enough and teach me how to read notes, staff, G clef, F clefs, etc. Medyo nakaka three-finger na ako, play nung Hello My Friend ni Neil Diamond, etc. Sorry po ang haba ng pasakali. But the point is, I just want to encourage everybody to do this. If you have always wanted to sing, play the guitar, learn the piano, it's never too late. And mind you, I have osteoarthritis, okay? And it's apparently good for flexibility. So without further ado, let us introduce our interviewee today. Hindi po yung teacher ko, but she is in the industry, in the piano industry. Roll the Betamax, Gabby.
Joy Cristobal is the president of Lyric Piano and Organ Corporation. Cristobal earned her commerce degree at De La Salle University, where she majored in marketing. Since then, she has been leading and overseeing the operations of Lyric. Cristobal is also an accomplished pianist.
Good morning, Miss Joy Cristobal. Welcome to the program agenda.
Good morning, Cito.
Okay, relax lang. This is just conversation, kwentuhan lang. As I set it up, I was telling our audience that I have somehow, to my own surprise, managed to read notes, read music sheet, and do finger exercises on the piano. And I'm kind of wondering, for you, how did your journey into pianos, being a pianist, and eventually taking over one of the major brands of musical instruments in the country?
My father started lyric in 1964 together with my mother.
Okay, could I ask you to come closer to the microphone? Medyo malayo eh. Pasensya ka na, Miss Joy. Okay.
So lyric started in 1964.
Yeah.
Started by my father and my mother. My father used to work for a piano making company in the 50s as a designer.
Mm-hmm. Meron palang ganun trabaho? Designer ng piano?
Yeah, but my father was an architect. So,
okay.
So he was assigned in designing the cabinet, the outlook of the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Not the technical, but more of the aesthetic.
Okay. Pero medyo social because, you know, an architect is meant to build buildings, homes, structures, but to hire an architect to design the form and the physical features of a piano, that's really setting the bar quite high.
Because during that time, he was assigned as a furniture designer.
Mm-hmm.
So that company also operates a furniture making company. So he was assigned in the furniture division to design the furnitures. And part of the expansion of that company is making pianos locally in the Philippines.
Mhm.
That was in the 1950s.
Okay. And then that was your father, Severo, or is it Severino? Severo?
It's Severo Panganiban.
Severo Panganiban. Okay. Now, your father put up his ano yun? His own piano company. How did the company Lyric come about?
After his stint with that piano making company, he decided to try doing the piano on his own.
Mhm.
So he tried producing a few pianos, and during those time, the piano was the only form of entertainment in the 1960s because lyrics started in 1964.
Mhm.
So people are into piano playing during that time. So the market was quite good and there was a good demand. So my father saw the opportunity and he started doing and manufacturing pianos under the Lyric name.
Okay, were you? I'm sure by then, batang-bata ka pa. You were just uh, young girl. I'm sure that paikot-ikot lang. But did you ever pick up stories on the challenges of making a piano? Because from the little that I know about people making pianos, they always talk about difficulty of finding the right wood, the issues of humidity in the Philippines, which is why everybody brags about American brands or Japanese brands and wala ka masyadong nadidinig about Philippine-made piano.
Yeah, those were the challenges, especially with the right kind and the right type of wood. Also, the humidity in the Philippines is so high.
Mhm.
So we have to make sure that there is proper aging of wood. So during the time, it was very difficult for piano manufacturers due to the lack of locally sourced materials. So we were able to do the manufacturing by importing from Japan, from Europe, and from America the necessary materials to be able to manufacture the piano.
Okay, and how did the name or where did the name Lyric come from?
As my father told me, there was a lyrics music store in Escolta during the pre-war times, and it was owned by an American. So after the war, that lyric music store closed down. And my father thought that it was since it started already and has a name in the market during the time, and the name was not patented or was not registered, so he decided to use the name Lyric.
Okay.
It was a popular music store in the 1950s located in Escolta, Manila.
Mhm. And during that time, that was the commercial center of the Philippines. Ika nga, everything was in Escolta. Unfortunately, during the war, everything was also bombed to the ground. So practically nothing was left except for what we have now. Now, what sort of pianos were made locally? Kasi, di ba, you have the upright, you have the baby grand, you have the grand piano, and each design has its own set of challenges, not to mention how long it takes. Back then, was it really handmade, handcrafted, or piesa-piesa na parang ngayon, parang Lego?
It's really handcrafted.
Mhm.
From the cabinet to the small mechanism part, also in the metal frame that is also being made by metal companies here in the Philippines. They do the foundry locally. So basically, majority of the parts are being already manufactured here in the Philippines. It's more of the specific part in mechanism that is being imported from Japan or from America or from Germany, depending on what brand are we going to make. Like we have many models, and depending on the models, we have to source the necessary mechanism in the different countries that is available.
Okay. Now, the question is, okay, you are a music, paano ba yun? Musical instrument store? Are you a piano brand? Parang ang dami kasi you're importers, meron pa yata kayong school eh.
Yes, that's true. So the company started as a piano making company. We manufactures different models of lyric pianos. Then during the time when my father asked me to join the company in 1981, that was the start of China entering the market worldwide, meaning with the kind of pianos that they make at a very low price. We find it difficult to compete. So what I told my father is we try to diversify, not only in pianos, but start selling guitars. During the start, we buy our guitars from locally manufacturers in Pampanga. At a certain point in time, we tried to support the locally made guitars. But as time goes on, the need of the Filipinos are improving and becoming more sophisticated. And the need for branded guitars made a very good entry in the Philippine market. So during the time, we started importing guitars. We started importing also drum sets, violins, electronic keyboards, because the electronic keyboards are more portable and the price is more affordable because the models ranges from entry level, like a 61 keys keyboard to an 88 keys keyboard. So there are more options in terms of models and in terms of pricing that could also cater to even a low-end market. So from keyboards, portable keyboards, we also carried and imported branded grand pianos. So as of today, we are the official distributor. Can I mention?
Go ahead, good.
We are the official distributor of Bosendorfer from Austria, which are grand pianos for professional use. And for the more affordable, we have Kawai pianos and we also have Yamaha pianos.
Okay, well, I did work for Yupanko Yamaha for a very, very short period of time. So I'm kind of familiar with those stuff. But I'm just wondering, there's so many questions to ask you, but how much do those grand pianos from Austria cost? Because I happened to just pass by a Steinway store 2 weeks ago. And just out of sheer curiosity, sabi ko, silipin ko nga yung presyo. Hanggang window na lang ako sa mahal ng presyo. 100, halos more than 500,000 yung nakita ko. But for grand pianos, yung ang nakita ko, upright. But what about yung grand pianos? How much do those things cost?
It's really in the million range, depending on the size,
Yeah.
and also depending on the model, and also it depends on the finish, because there are some special finish, like they use special wood like mahogany, sapele, or like a different kind of oak. So
Yeah.
it's really more on the higher price range, but these are very limited market.
Okay, but how much money are we talking about? Let's say for a regular grand piano, what would be the entry level price?
Entry level price for Indonesian made. So because there are many factories, they could be made in Indonesia,
Uh-huh.
they could be made in China, or they could be made in America or made in Europe.
Yeah.
Like for a China made pianos, grand pianos, the entry level price is around 600,000.
Okay. And for European American made like yung mga Steinway, ilang milyon yun?
Roughly around the rate of around 4 million.
4 million for a piano. Okay, I will now look for a house that I will rob of a Steinway or a Yamaha. Okay, we'll go for a quick break, Joy, and when
Yeah.
we come back, let's talk about Lyric, the challenges of operating a music store. In my generation, that's what we call them, music store. But ano na ba tawag sa mga store na ganyan? We'll be right back after this quick break. Please stay tuned and keep us company here on Agenda.
Okay.
Welcome back to the program Agenda. Imagine that a baby grand piano on the upper scale or higher value level can cost, a grand piano can cost as much as 4 million. And during the break, I was telling our guest, Miss Joy Cristobal, the CEO of Lyric Piano, that I had bought what I thought was a cheap piano. And it turns out that what I have is a Japanese piano. Joy, are the Japanese like that? They make pianos but they give it a European name. Kasi yung sa akin akala ko, sabi ko, mukhang fakey-dakey ito European, pero bakit ang mura?
Yeah, because alam mo naman ng mga Japanese, they like European brands.
Mm-hmm.
So even in the name and the branding of pianos in Japan, they go for German sounding, or basically European sounding names.
Yeah, and which is, interesting because mahilig din sila sa Italian food. When I went to, I've been to Japan several times, and I noticed that there were many stores that sold European food, Italian food in particular. So apparently, you're right on that. Now, going back to our conversation, yung pinag-uusapan natin, the history of lyric pianos or lyric, what exactly do we call your stores, your business? Is it lyric music store, musical instrument store? Ano na ba? Kasi panahon ko, music store, period.
Yeah. Dati, kung mapapansin mo, yung mga stores namin sa mga shopping malls, ang nakalagay is lyric piano.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when we started importing other instruments, nilagay na lang namin lyric na lang. Because we just don't want to be identified because we already known with pianos, no? So, we don't want to be identified na piano store kami. So we wanted to be more, meaning we could cater to guitars and other instruments. So we just put the name Lyric. So basically, kahit sa ngayon, people will still say it's music store.
Okay, music store. Now, what have you learned about combining or diversifying? Because that's the first thing you told your father, Severo, back then, that in order to become viable as a business, hindi pwedeng puro piano lang, kailangan mag-import ng mga iba-ibang musical instrument. How did that affect the piano side of things? Because lyric piano is an institution.
Yeah, actually it's complementary. Because when a family goes to a music store, there are the parents. Usually parents, piano yan. Pero mga anak, they go for guitars, they go for drum sets, or they go for violins, or trumpet, or saxophone, or flute. So basically, ang mga magulang, traditional sila Piano kagad ang unang titingnan.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video material that you're sharing with our viewers, and it seems that medyo modern na rin yung mga presentation ninyo. Black backgrounds, your stores have modern look, yung parang sports outlet, etc. Now, has the market kept up with the business? Is music still a key offering or key interest of Filipinos, or humina ba yung interest natin sa music or musical instruments?
Yung interest didn't die down. In fact, because of music technology now. Meaning, dati traditional acoustic, no?
Yeah.
Now it's more of meron kang digital keyboard, meron kang mga apps that you could use, that you could learn how to play by yourself. Meaning the young generation, medyo still into music, but it's a different kind of music compared to the traditional music that we used to know before. Kasi tayo noon, pag sinabing music, more on piano-based tayo eh. No?
Yeah.
And more of singing, di ba?
Mhm.
Marami gustong kumanta. But now kasi the kids are into the gadgets and into technology. So the music products were able also to adapt.
Okay.
Maraming produkto na the young people, the young generation can apply their interest because of technology.
Yeah, I was quite surprised because my teacher, teacher Dea, when I was talking to her about a particular song, sabi ko, I'd really like to be able to kahit na finger play lang yung song na yon. And she went in spite of the fact that she's the piano teacher, she opened her, I think, iPad and then showed me several sites where they have parang, okay, this is the music, this is the song, this is the slow rendition, ito yung notes, ito yung beat, etc. And sabi ko, grabe, kahit pala, pwede palang mag-aral kahit walang teacher, although it will probably take you forever to learn.
Yeah, actually, very important yung teacher kasi the teacher will give the basics and the principles. Like in terms of counting, the type of notes, and how long you will press on the notes. So it's more of giving you the basics. But once you know the basic, you could guide yourself in some of the songs that are pre-prepared, meaning nakalagay na kung anong notes ang ipe-press mo, and how long you will press it, and then what's the next note. So, ang daling sundan. Kaya ngayon, even at what age you are, you could still learn how to play the musical instrument.
Yeah, I second that. I fully agree because and it's so satisfying. Hindi pa ako nakakabuo ng isang buong serious na pyesa kahit na modern song. I haven't achieved that yet. I'm not at that level. But just being able to read the notes, etc., understand the beat, you know, it just gives you a sense of fulfillment, and it's a really great form of mental exercise. But anyway, going back to lyric stores and the business, what is the most popular musical instrument now among Filipinos or your customers?
It's still guitars and pianos. Still, they are the number one and number two.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, for many years, it has been really guitars and piano. And now, aside from the acoustic piano, is the electronic piano, the digital piano, and some other portable keyboards like synthesizers.
You know, a lot of young people are into that portable. In fact, one of our scholars, nakita kami minsan, and sabi ko, ano yan? May keyboard ka dyan sa kwarto. Sir, nag-aaral ako. And I learned that many people have a hard time deciding which model or what type of keyboard to buy. And then I discovered na hindi pala pare-pareho ang keys.
Yes.
Meron palang 60-something, may 88.
Keys, yeah, may 88 keys, may 72 keys, may 74 keys.
Can you please explain that to me? Sumakit ang ulo ko eh.
Okay. The number of keys means kung gaano kadami yung tiklado. That's the number of keys, no?
Okay.
So, usually, kung mga bata na mag-start pa lang mag-piano, the teacher, if there are space limitation, meaning hindi kasya yung piano sa bahay, at nakakondo, at kailangan lang maliit na instrument, they could start with the portable keyboard na 61 keys.
Okay.
So, But even if na 61 keys siya, maraming klase na 61 keys na keyboard. So like merong keyboards na for professional, it's also 61 keys, no? But there are keyboards that are for entry level, meaning beginners.
Okay.
So meron ding 88 keys, no? So paano, para kanino naman yung 88 keys? Normally, based on our experience, ang bumibili ng 88 keys are those people who really wants an acoustic piano, but there are constraints in terms of space limitation. Naka-condo, ayaw nilang maka-disturb sa kapitbahay nila because the portable keyboards, you could use a headphone.
Ayun, okay.
So you could use a headphone, then ikaw lang makakarinig kung ano yung tinutugtog mo. So kung gusto mo mag-practice the whole night, hindi ka makaka-disturb. And that's the reason why kung bakit the products that we sell in our stores nag-evolve na rin. Kasi
in what way?
Kung kailangan yan ng headphones, we distribute branded headphones. Okay? So, doon naman sa mga nag-o-online studying, so gusto nilang mag-aral ng piano or keyboard or guitar or violin, we have a music school under the Lyric Music Studio, and we teach online.
Okay.
So in teaching online, kailangan namin ng facilities. So kailangan namin, meron kaming microphone, kailangan namin ng headphone, kailangan namin ng mga portable small mixers, and may mga kailangan kami mga interface, which all of these are also being sold in our store. Kasi hindi sila makakapag-set up kung wala sila nun.
That's so true because I mean, like for me, sometimes I'm in Manila, sometimes I'm somewhere else, and teacher Dea said, "Sir, mag-online ka kaya?" Sabi ko, pwede ba araw-araw na ako naka-camera? Ayoko na ng online. But sabi niya, but you need to do it every day. Okay, sige, let me buy a stand first for my camera and then I will study this. So there is a value pala in buying those keyboards, those portable keyboards. Now, I remember back in the day, this electric, paano ba sabi nila, electric piano, hindi keyboard ang tawag eh. Pareho pa, is it the same thing? Back in the day, professional musicians would talk to me about, pare, this is an electric piano. It is a piano. It's not just an organ. What's the difference? Keyboard, organs, piano, for our regular viewers.
Okay. Dati kasi, di ba, it's acoustic piano, no?
Yeah.
Then during the time, mga 60s, meron nang lumalabas ng mga, they call it electric piano. So the reason why it's electric, it's because it's more portable. Na kung ang piano hindi mo mabubuhat from one place to another, you need people really to transfer that or move that. So paano yung mga nagbabanda? Anong gagawin nila? They could not bring a piano with them. So meron tinatawag na mga electric piano. So these are the ones that you could bring from one place to another. So by using the electricity, it will function. Kasi ang piano, you need soundboard, you need metal frame, you need strings. So, mabigat siya. So, hindi mo siya mabubuhat. But, syempre, ang banda, they go from one place to another. They play anywhere that they are asked to play. So, kailangan, portable yung dala nila. So, meron ng electric piano.
But is it the same? Or is it almost the same? Because pinagpipilitan sa akin ng mga kaibigan kong mga band player, Cito, parehong-pareho sabi ko, iba yung acoustic eh. No, sabi na, hindi, nakikita mo keyboard, hindi yan electric piano.
Okay, kasi meron tayong tinatawag ng mga die-hard traditionals. When
Okay.
we say die-hard traditionals, kahit anong sabihin mo ng ganda ng electronic keyboard mo or digital piano mo, gusto pa rin nila acoustic
Yeah.
because it's a natural sound, meaning it's coming from the natural wood.
Mhm.
So, ang kanyang response, ang kanyang effect, and if your ears are really very, very keen na na-identify mo, malalaman mo, oh, you're using an acoustic. No, you're using an electric one.
Electric. But they're
Malalaman.
almost the same, right? I mean, different application. Kasi if you're performing in a live show or for a karaoke event, you know, that the quality of the piano won't be that specific to the ear.
Sa ngayon kasi with technology,
Mhm.
it's very hard to distinguish.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's really
Now,
very hard.
how much, what would be the price difference between a good quality electric piano versus a good quality acoustic piano?
The electric are cheaper.
By how
That-
much? Kasi alam mo, mabuti na yun na-educate natin yung viewers kasi ang daming online ngayon na hold up eh.
Yeah. For instance, there are many brands in the market,
Okay.
but those brands has different quality level. So, kung gusto mo talagang magandang tunog, magandang natawag na touch response, no? Very responsive sa fingers mo when you play, you go for brands that are really directed towards that kind of market.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to tell the brand, but basically, if you go to a music store, legitimate music store, they could give you some suggestions.
Yeah, but around how much money should you have in your pocket if you're seriously going to go and buy? Kasi I know a lot of young people online eh, tumitira 25, 30,000. Sabi ko, online, binabayaran niyo yan, gano'n. So parang ibang generation eh.
For a very decent and would serve the purpose, a 35,000 keyboard, 88 keys, is good enough.
Good enough. Not
Yes.
the best. Good enough
It's
pa
not
lang.
the best, but it's good enough because there are models higher, which means there is what we call the touch response.
Okay.
When you play on the keys, there are some brands that hindi bumabalik kagad yung tiklado.
Okay.
Because yung mechanism nila is not that kind of level na hindi yung kahit mahina ang tunog mo.
Mhm.
Dapat tutunog pa rin siya ng mahina.
Mm.
So there is what we call a touch response and also the quality of sound.
Okay, Joy, let's go for a quick break. And when we come back, let's talk more about the company, the business, and offerings. We already talked about pianos, about musical instruments, about online school. Okay, let's talk about other stuff right after the break.
Okay.
Welcome back to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and today we are featuring Lyric Piano, or well, Lyric, the music company, the music store. Ewan ko ba, ang dami na kasing pinagdaanan. It's been in the business of musical instrument, learning, etc. for 58 years. And now it's on its third, moving towards third generation management. Joy Cristobal is with us this morning. Joy, I am surprised how you have managed to go from Severo to Panganiban to Joy Cristobal, and then now you have what, two kids, a son and a daughter
Yes.
coming in the business already, hindi coming into the business.
Yes, yes. I have two children. Macy is my daughter, the eldest one, and the youngest one is CJ. Both of them are working for the company for quite some time already.
Mm-hmm.
Macy is in charge of operations and legal department, and CJ is our business development manager, and also helps me in terms of negotiations with suppliers and ordering and selecting more products for the company.
Okay, now you have you've been in the business 58 years. You have how many branches? 23 branches.
Yes, yes.
Are these branches under the family or are they franchise holders? What is the business model?
It's all family owned.
Mm-hmm. And they're only in Metro Manila or all over the Philippines?
We have two stores in Cebu. We have stores in South area covered by Batangas City, and we have in Lipa City.
Mm-hmm.
We have stores in Cavite, in Bacoor, Dasmariñas. And also we have stores in the northern part, which is located in Clark and Pampanga.
Okay, now what has changed in terms of management with the third generation coming in? Medyo nagsasabunutan ba sa boardroom o nagbabatuhan ng paperclip dahil hindi magkasundo si nanay at yung mga bata?
I think there are times where we have different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And different ideas. But I'm very open. I'm very open to the ideas being presented by my children because they are the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is, yung time ko kasi wala pang mga online.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of the traditional face-to-face selling.
Yeah.
People go to our store and then they are being attended by our salespeople. But now it's more than that. Meaning we have our website, we have our online stores, we are also in different selling platforms,
Mm-hmm.
which means diversified yung distribution, the method of distribution. Where unlike before, it was just our own stores, and we have some selected dealers all over the Philippines. So we have dealers in Lawag, in Nueva Vizcaya, we have dealers in Bicol, we have dealers in Leyte, we have dealers in Davao, and certain other parts of Mindanao and Visayas.
Mm-hmm.
But now, with the online stores, you already cater the whole market of the Philippines, which is, for me, I was not exposed to that. I have to accept the fact that, yes, I know something about online,
Mm-hmm.
but the young people, they are more into it. So they have more ideas.
How about music competitions, events? Because I mean, you and I come from that generation where to promote music, may pa-contest lagi, may mga grand. I remember there used to be festivals when organs were the rave,
Yes,
meron
yeah.
talaga mga
There were-
tournament, di ba?
Yes.
Before that, in the time of your father, there would be piano competitions among schools and universities, yung mga schools of music. What are you now? What are you doing in terms of promoting the art of music, in playing musical instruments, in relation to the future of selling the products you carry?
Okay, we do sponsors piano competitions
Mm-hmm.
together with our foreign counterparts. We did piano competitions for Kauai. We did piano competitions for Yamaha.
Mm-hmm.
And we also did a lot of events for guitars. So we invite foreign guitarists in the to go to the Philippines and conduct guitar clinics.
Mm-hmm.
We invite famous drummers from different parts of the world, bring to the Philippines, invite drum enthusiasts, invite students of percussion to attend drum clinics. Aside from that, we also invite professional musicians whom we invite to play in our stores and invite people who are interested in that.
You, Joy. Thank you
Yes.
very much for your time, and we pray that you continue to enjoy good health, that God prospers your business, and that it may become a platform to promoting music appreciation and skills among Filipinos. Thank you very much, Ms. Joy Cristobal.
Thank you very much too.
Okay, that, ladies and gentlemen, is our guest for today, Joy Cristobal, CEO of Lyric Pianos, Lyric stores all over the Philippines. Okay, let's now go to our closing blessing for the week. It is from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 34, verse 9. And it goes, "And Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands on him." Please be a blessing to others today, this week, and may God bless you as well. Have a great day. I'm Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us here on Agenda, and please keep it here on One News.